You guys can just play with it, look at it if you want, come up and touch it. It's pretty sturdy, so don't worry about breaking it. It doesn't really work in the first place, so we don't have to worry about it at all. Yeah, go ahead and get rolling if you guys are ready.
I'll tell you we have 2 minutes left.
Perfect. So this is the original guy that started making this. His name's Theo Jansen. He is actually a Dutch artist. He started studying physics and dropped out to become an artist full-time. This is one of his first projects he started in 1980. And he actually used computers from 1980 to run simulations to find the 11 most efficient linkages for very organic moving leg. These 11 numbers he likes to consider as holy numbers. He likes to refer to his creatures as like living beings, like these things with they're powered by the earth and they run off the earth, so they're sort of like this living creature that can walk across the beach. But these are all the different linkages right there. So you can kind of see that in the sculpture design right there as well. The crankshaft in the middle is going to turn a pivot here shared by a set of legs like that, and it's going to get this nice smooth motion there. I think he kind of made his own aesthetic. I've never seen anything like it. I call it maybe outsider art, industrial, something along those lines. So I kind of tried to stay true to that, but I wanted to make it look a little more clean, a little more modern, because I think it is sort of like an impressive machine. It has this more modern sort of feel and technology to it without having, well, any technology, so to say. And so this is mine. I tried to kind of match that, like I said. My goal is to make it, something you can fit in the palm of your hand and kind of just turn a crank and get the legs moving a little bit. I didn't really expect it to walk across the table using wind. Yeah, it was really time intensive to do all the legs I did do. I originally planned to do a set, 6 sets of legs, and those 3 actually took me about 7 hours to make for just the legs. So I kind of stopped halfway there and thought that'd be okay. But you can tell he kind of gets a little bit of a wobble, and with 6, he would sit very nice and firm. He would have 2 sets of legs always touching, but it's all right. Here's a little close-up of the leg design before I slid them all together on the crankshaft. I actually built the legs in 4 different pieces. So I have a separate triangle here, little rectangular prism there, another triangle up here, and then the main crank structure right there. So each one of those was a separate thing I glued together. I went through 2 cans of super glue, spilled a little on my desk. Super fun project though. The body, I just went as simple as I could. I was pretty exhausted by this point when I was trying to cut all those out, so just wanted something. I was kind of hoping to make it a little bit bigger so I could put a little strut on top, really hold it all together, give you something to hold on to when you're cranking it, but it came out a little bit smaller than I anticipated. This was right before I put in the fixed axle along there, and I could kind of tell something was a little bit off. I have 2 hypotheses. So I got the design for the legs off the internet from someone else, kind of tweaked it to my own liking a little bit, and these 2 supports here end up crunching up against each other, and I'm not quite sure why the original designer thought that was okay, but it's not, obviously. Next, I would really like to 3D print my own. There's a lot of stuff online. You can just download it, set it up, and print one out real quick. And since we have access to ITLL and the idea for us to print them ourselves, I'd really like to get down there and make my own, and one that actually works. But yeah, I'm probably not going to do paper again. It was very messy. I had to vacuum my room for 2 days afterwards to get all the paper scraps out of there. Super glue isn't fun to get on your fingers, as I'm sure much of you have experienced. And it was just extremely, extremely time consuming. So I'm not the most patient person in the world, and I'd rather not sit through that all over again. But I'm definitely going to keep this, guys, even if I don't get it working, as a little sculpture, put on my bookshelf, and kind of just be yeah, cool, I made this effort, and it looks like it does something. So I can appreciate that. All right, you guys have any questions for me?
Did you follow your 11 number principle, just scaled down?
I did, yeah. So I just divided all of his numbers by 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you, so you said that you were cutting them out. Did you just use an X-Acto knife?
Yeah, I used an X-Acto knife, and I bought a 120-pound cardstock, which is absurdly thick. So I could cut through about 3 sheets at one time. So I did actually that whole entire set in one go, but it took, you know, a lot of cutting each line over and over again. Yeah, so each section took me about an hour to cut, fold, glue, and then I had to glue them all together after that, so.
How'd you hear about this guy?
Oh, shoot, it was years ago. I forgot how. I think either I saw it like on Facebook or someone in one of my engineering classes might have brought it up. I think that might have actually been it, but it was seriously 4 years ago now I've known about him. Something I've always kind of wanted to get my hands dirty with, and I saw the perfect opportunity and did it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I posted a video on my final report page of like all of his evolutions. He actually has like different genomes that he's named, like using you know, true Latin names. He made his own Latin names with all the different, you could say, species that he's created, and it has like all the evolution of his work, and it's pretty cool just to watch.
Yeah, how'd you name it? If he does that, did you name yours yourself?
I have not named mine anything yet.
Oh, okay.
I should come up with a name for it. It's actually a
I
good
saw
idea.
I saw a Strand Beast. And I was
Yeah,
thinking
so
maybe-
that's like his overarching project. He
Okay.
has like
Okay.
anamorphous, Cycelius, and stuff like that for each different ones. So yeah, he gets pretty creative with that.